Have you ever heard the phrase toxic masculinity used as an insult, as a way to dismiss the person even? Would you like to get free from those judgments and those generalizations? Hi, I am Matthew and we are Orgasm lovers. I have always felt closer to girls and women than men, and I identified more easily with their plights and their behaviors and their feelings, even though I don't identify as a woman. And more often than not, my friends would come to me and complain about men. And I felt sorry for my friends, and I felt angry at the men who misbehaved. And sometimes I would cringe because my friends would say, "Men do that, all men, you men do that." And that's not me. And for a few years, since 2015, I've been trying to build a bridge between myself and men in order to help me help bridges between men and women. And I realized that men have a very bad deal in our society. And it's not about the next top victim, it's just that way. And it's even worse now because women tend to demand that some feminist claims that are legitimate be heard. But the men, individual men, feel like a burden, a guilt, a reproach that is societal, not individual. And when I heard the phrase toxic masculinity, actually it helped me understand men better. And I felt that it could be liberating for them. I know it's counterintuitive, but please hear me out. The grammarian in me feels like it's obvious. If I talk of a white bear, I do mean that some bears are not white, and that some white animals are not bears. It separates the whiteness from the bareness, if you will. So if there is such a thing as toxic masculinity, it means that there is positive masculinity. It relieves something. It makes possible communication and forgiveness and love. There is a second thing in that. It's masculinity that is toxic. That part of masculinity that is toxic. And it's not the person himself. So I can forgive someone if he behaves in toxic masculinity because he can change. It's something he has learned and he can change that. There's a third part. If it's toxic, it's harmful to others, but also to oneself. So he himself is hurt by those aspects of masculinity. So first, let's separate the toxic and the masculine and know why they are linked. Ever since childhood, I have been assaulted by men, sometimes because I was different and sometimes because they were attracted to me. And they went to me with their desire in a way that made me very, very uncomfortable and sometimes even aggressive. And obviously, it's not all men. And even some men who were attracted to me were very courteous and they became friends later. But some men behaved in a way that was very uncomfortable, aggressive, because of their desire. And it's obviously not all men, but it's only men. Some women who were attracted to me, they never behaved like that. So there is something in the way that men are raised that makes them, some of them, behave in a bad way. There is such a thing as bad behavior and good behavior. And some bad behaviors are specific to a gender. And even though most of us don't behave like that, we are taught that those are some examples of how it is somehow normal or expected that some men behave. And that's problematic too. But if I don't use that behavior, why would I feel ashamed of it? Because others behave poorly. Well, there is a part of human condition that makes us identify with our groups. And that goes for gender, it goes for nationality, it goes for religion, it goes from political parties, it even goes from music. if someone says that there is something bad about the music I hear and I listen to, I may feel the urge to defend, even though it's something that is not mine. But for gender, it goes further, because some men, and especially some powerful men, want us to think that toxic masculinity is a slur. Why would they want that? Because then, when they behave poorly, and that women complain, we will feel the urge to defend them because we will feel insulted. Because if toxic masculinity is a slur, when a woman uses it, I will feel insulted, and therefore I will defend my honor. And by defending my honor, I will defend all men. And by defending all men, I will defend those who behave poorly. And I will even defend those behaviors themselves as natural, or something like that. But why would I defend that stranger who behaved badly with the woman I like, I love, against the woman I love? Why would I do that? And that's it. When women complain to us about other men, there is this slight reflex, that urge to say, I'm not like that. You know, when Leia in the first Star Wars says to Luke, your friend is a mercenary, and he says, I'm not like that. No, you're not. Why would you say it if she tells you those things? It's because she trusts you, because she knows that you're not like that. If she thought the same thing of you or me as from this man who behaved poorly, she would not tell me her story. She would not tell me her feelings, her emotions. But actually, when someone is angry, I have that urge to say, I'm not the one responsible for your anger. I'm not guilty. It's not me. Like Luke. But actually, if I do that, I prove her wrong. When she entrusts me with her story, when she seeks support from me. If I say I'm not like that, I am changing the topic of the conversation. She wants to talk about her story. And I am answering, this is about me. I'm not like that. And that's not masculine, that's childish. Anyway, if I want to behave as an adult and as a positive male, I can listen to her and support her and listen to the things that she says about those toxic behaviors. Because we were all raised in the same society. We were all raised with the same messages and the same expectations about how men and women are supposed to be, supposed to behave. And sometimes there are behaviors that I will have, maybe not as intense as the one that triggers my friend, but maybe some things I feel are normal are upsetting to her or uncomfortable to her. And if I listen closely, I can see, okay, maybe this behavior or that way of thinking can make her uncomfortable. And even later when I'm with my friends, they will do something that will make me laugh, that used to make me laugh, but now I know it's uncomfortable for my girlfriend. And I can tell them, you know, this thing, we tend to think it's funny, but actually it's very uncomfortable for a woman. Maybe we should stop. And by doing that, I'm making the world a better place for my mother, my daughter, my sister, my friends, my lover, and therefore for myself. So now, when I hear the word toxic masculinity, even if it's directed at me, I don't feel slurred. I feel it as an opportunity to separate the behavior from my essence. It's not me. It's something I have learned. It's something I can change. And it's an opportunity to build a bridge between the person who talked and myself. And it's an opportunity for me to make the world a better place for my mother, my daughter, my sister, my lover, and an opportunity for me to make the world a better place for me. I hope you enjoyed that. This is Matthew, and we are Orgasm Lovers.